2 days ago, a piece of a SpaceX rocket just slammed into the moon at roughly 5,400 miles per hour. No one sent it there. No astronaut was controlling it. And there was never going to be a last-second command that could pull it away. For more than a year, this enormous piece of metal had been drifting through the complicated gravitational environment between Earth and the Moon. Then, on August 5, 2026, its journey finally ended. It hit the lunar surface. And scientists were watching. This was not an asteroid. It was not a meteor. It was a piece of human technology. A Falcon 9 upper stage that had originally helped send spacecraft toward the Moon had become an uncontrolled object in cislunar space. After spending months traveling under the influence of Earth's gravity, the Moon, the Sun, and other forces, its trajectory eventually brought it directly toward the lunar surface. The predicted impact location was near the Einstein crater region, close to the boundary between the Moon's near side and far side. Researchers calculated that the roughly 4-ton stage would strike at around 2.43 kilometers per second, about 5,400 miles per hour. And unlike an ordinary piece of space debris falling toward Earth, there was no atmosphere waiting to slow it down. The Moon has essentially no atmosphere. So the rocket stage arrived at the surface at enormous speed. But the strangest part of this story is that the object was not supposed to become the subject of a lunar impact experiment. It became one by accident. The story begins much earlier. On January 15, 2025, a Falcon 9 launched from Florida carrying 2 lunar spacecraft. One was Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost Mission 1. The other was iSpace's Resilience lander. The Falcon 9 successfully sent them onto their journey toward the Moon. Blue Ghost eventually reached the lunar surface and completed its mission. Resilience, however, did not complete its landing successfully. But the spacecraft were not the only things leaving Earth that day. The Falcon 9's upper stage was also traveling through space. Once its job was finished, that upper stage became a spent piece of hardware. For many launches, a Falcon 9 upper stage is deliberately guided toward an atmospheric re-entry after deployment. But missions requiring much more energy, such as sending spacecraft toward the Moon, can leave the upper stage in a much higher orbit where a controlled disposal maneuver is not always possible. SpaceX has explained that this particular stage gradually moved toward the Moon under the effects of gravity and solar activity. And that is where the situation became unusual. The object was not simply falling toward the Moon. It was orbiting. Its trajectory was constantly being shaped by gravity. Earth was pulling on it. The Moon was pulling on it. The Sun was pulling on it. And tiny forces, including the effects of solar radiation, could also influence its motion over long periods. None of these forces had to be dramatic. They simply had to act for long enough. Eventually, astronomers realized that the trajectory was converging with the Moon. One of the people who followed the object closely was independent astronomer Bill Gray, the developer of Project Pluto, software widely used to track objects moving through near-Earth and cislunar space. Gray's calculations showed that the spent Falcon 9 stage was heading toward a lunar impact. And the prediction became increasingly precise as additional observations were collected. By the summer of 2026, researchers had a remarkably specific forecast. The impact was expected around August 5 at approximately 6:35 to 6:44 Coordinated Universal Time, near the Einstein crater region. That changed the event completely. Normally, when an asteroid hits the Moon, scientists have almost no warning. The object arrives. It strikes. A flash may appear. Dust and rock are thrown outward. And the event is over. This time, astronomers knew approximately when and where to look. That gave researchers something extremely valuable: preparation. A scientific team led by researchers including William Joe, David Goldstein, Philip Varghese, Lawrence Trafton, Jordan Steckloff, and others modeled what the collision might produce. Their simulations suggested that the impact could create a large ejecta plume, with material rising many kilometers above the lunar surface and spreading hundreds of kilometers from the impact site. They also calculated that the event could produce a signal bright enough, under favorable conditions, to be detected by observing systems. But scientists were not simply waiting to see a spectacular flash. The real prize was the material thrown out of the crater. When something moving thousands of miles per hour strikes the moon, the collision does not simply create a hole. It excavates the surface. Lunar soil and rock are blasted outward. Dust rises above the surface. Fragments travel in different directions. And because this particular impactor was human-made and its approximate mass, shape, composition, and velocity were known, researchers could compare what actually happened with their computer models. That is extremely useful. The moon is constantly being bombarded by natural objects, but most impactors arrive without warning. Scientists usually have to estimate their size, composition, speed, and trajectory. This event was different. They knew what was coming. They knew it was artificial. And they had a reasonably good estimate of its physical characteristics. A recent study characterized the object as 2025-010D and estimated its mass at roughly 3,900 kilograms. Researchers also used observations of its brightness and rotation to learn more about its physical properties before impact. The result was something unusual in lunar science. A human-made object became a controlled observation opportunity without ever being intentionally designed as an experiment. And that matters because humanity is preparing to spend much more time around the moon. The lunar environment is about to become increasingly crowded. Government missions are returning. Commercial landers are becoming more common. Robotic spacecraft are being sent toward the lunar surface. And future missions will place astronauts, scientific instruments, power systems, communications equipment, and potentially permanent infrastructure on the moon. That means scientists need to understand what happens when objects collide with the lunar surface. How far does the dust travel? How high does the ejecta rise? How large is the crater? How does an artificial impact differ from a natural asteroid strike? And could debris from one mission create hazards for another? Those questions become much more important as lunar activity increases. Researchers specifically identified the 2026 impact as an opportunity to study ejecta dynamics, test techniques for locating lunar impacts, improve models, and investigate potential hazards associated with artificial debris. So this was not simply a story about a rocket crashing into the moon. It was a preview of a much bigger problem. Humanity is no longer just visiting space. We are beginning to leave things there. And as the number of missions increases, the space between Earth and the moon becomes an environment that needs to be managed. Because every spacecraft eventually has to go somewhere. Some return to Earth. Some enter long-term orbits. Some are deliberately disposed of. And some can remain in trajectories that nobody originally intended. The Falcon 9 stage became an extreme example of what can happen when a piece of hardware is left traveling through cislunar space. It did not suddenly turn toward the moon. There was no mysterious force guiding it. There was no hidden signal. There was no alien explanation. Just physics. Gravity. Momentum. Time. And an object following a trajectory that eventually intersected with the lunar surface. But then came August 5th. After months of prediction and observation, the moment finally arrived. The rocket stage reached the moon. And somewhere near Einstein crater, a human-made object traveling at roughly 2.43 kilometers per second slammed into a world that has preserved its scars for billions of years. The impact was over in an instant. But the scientific investigation had only just begun.